So welcome back to the lecture series of function of complex variable. So the previous lecture actually I have discussed what is the linear transformation and how we could consider it as a combination of rotation, magnification and translation. And I have discussed what do you mean by the invariant point. So here I am going to give one example of conformal mapping. So as I have told earlier, so whenever we are defining a conformal mapping or any kind of complex mapping, so it actually maps a two-dimensional geometrical figure from Z plane to W plane. So now we'll discuss how different geometrical figures are mapped by virtue of that given mapping W equals to the power Z. So in order to show that this is a conformal mapping, first we need to show that it is an analytic function and the derivative is not equals to 0. Then only at those points the function will be a conformal mapping. So since W equals to the power Z, we know that e to the power Z function or exponential function is differentiable everywhere. So it will be analytic at each and every point of Z, and dw dz equals to the power Z is not equals to 0 for all Z. That's why W equals to the power Z will be conformal for any value of Z. Now, since W is a complex value, so W can be written in the form of e to the power Z. So W can be written in the form of r e to the power I phi. So what is phi actually? So phi is nothing but the angle of the amplitude of W, and r is actually the modulus of W. That means the distance of the positional distance of W from the origin. So you can write e to the power Z in the form of e to the power x plus iy equals to r e to the power I phi. So you can write this as e to the power x into e to the power iy equals to r e to the power I phi. So if we compare both ends, we will get that r equals to e to the power x and y equals to phi. So if I consider the Z plane, so in the Z plane we are considering the Cartesian coordinate, that means x and y, and in the W plane we are considering the polar coordinates, that is r and phi. So x is mapped, so r is related with xy in that way, e to the power x equals to r, and the phi is mapped with y in that way. So actually x comma y is mapped to e to the power x comma y, where e to the power x is r and phi is y. So that is our u and that is our v. So now we'll consider case 1. We are considering y equals to y. We are considering a straight line y equals to beta. Y equals to beta means the straight line that is parallel to x axis. Sorry, that is parallel to actually x axis. Yes, that is parallel to x axis. So if I take y equals to beta, so what will get here? So we will be getting phi equals to beta. So that means y equals to beta in Z plane, that is a straight line, is transformed to the angle phi equals to beta in W plane. Now it is case 2. In the case 2 we are considering two lines that is enclosed by or the region that is enclosed by two lines y equals to beta and y equals to gamma. So what we have considered in the first case? In the first case we have considered that y equals to beta, one straight line. Then we are getting that the straight line is mapped to a vector or to a straight line that is making an angle phi, that is beta, with u axis. Now we are considering the region in between beta and gamma. So we are actually considering two straight lines in Z plane, y equals to beta and y equals to gamma, and we are considering the region in between that two straight lines. So this is mapped actually the region in between the two straight lines phi equals to beta and phi equals to gamma in W plane. So phi equals to beta means the straight line that makes an angle beta with the u axis, and phi equals to gamma means the straight line that makes an angle gamma with the positive u axis. So that is mapped to the region this. So this geometrical figure by virtue of the mapping W equals to the power Z is mapped to this region. So that is actually called the radial lines. That means this is a radius vector. So radius vectors are making the lines. So in between two radius vectors, the region is called as the radial region. So the region in between two straight lines is actually mapped to the radial region. Now we are considering another case. Say x equals to 0. So what is the x equals to 0? X equals to 0 means imaginary axis. That means the y axis. So if x equals to 0, from there we have got that r equals to the power x. So r will be to the power 0, that will be 1. So if r equals to 1, so w will be, mod of w will be 1, because we have got that w equals to r e to the power I phi. So if r is actually 1, then mod of w will be e to the power I phi. So you know that mod of e to the power I phi is nothing but the root over cos square phi plus sin square phi. So that will be 1 actually. So mod of w will be equals to 1. So what we are getting here? So what do you mean by the mod of w equals to 1? Mod of w means mod of u plus iv equals to 1. That means u square plus v square equals to 1. So actually if I consider x equals to 0, that means y axis, so that is mapped to a circle whose center is at 0 0 and radius is 1 unit in the W plane. So actually y axis is mapped to a unit circle. So that is x equals to 0, that is y axis. So by virtue of the mapping W equals to the power z, this y axis is mapped to the circular region, that means unit circle whose center is at 0 0. Then we will discuss the case 4. In case 4, we are considering two lines, they are parallel to x axis rather. So y equals to 0 and y equals to pi. So this is y equals to 0, that means x axis, and y equals to pi. And we are considering the region in between that, and that is bounded by y equals to pi, y equals to 0, and this part x equals to 0. So that means this region. So since phi equals to 0 and phi equals to pi, so actually phi equals to 0 means, and w equals to, since x equals to 0, so mod of w will be equals to 1. So that means, what is phi equals to 0? So phi equals to 0 means the angle that the arc is making with the u axis, that is the 0 angle. And phi equals to pi means the angle that the arc is making with the positive u axis, that means the pi angle. So actually, this region is mapped to the upper half of the unit circle, w equals to 1. So if I consider the particular y axis, then we know that y axis is mapped to the unit circle. Now we are considering the region in between y equals to pi, y equals to 0 and x axis and y axis. Then this is actually mapped to the upper part or upper half of the unit circle. So in that way, actually, if we consider a different complex mapping, and by virtue of that complex mapping, if we consider one geometrical figure in z plane, we can identify where it is mapped by virtue of that defined function. So I have given here two problems. So find the image of the straight line x plus y equals to 1 under the transformation w equals to z square. So mapping is given as w equals to z square. So by virtue of that mapping, I need to find out how xy is related to uv, where z is x plus iy and w is u plus ib. Then by virtue of that mapping, this straight line where it is mapped to w plane, in w plane we need to find it. So by virtue of the previous thing I have discussed, just in the previous case I have discussed different examples or different cases. Just here you need to consider only one case. So you need to consider one straight line in z plane, then where it is mapped you need to find out under this mapping. There is a second example, the function is given as w equals to 1 by z. So one strip is given, the rectangular strip, that means the region in between the line y equals to 1/3 and y equals to 1 by 6. So the strip where it is mapped, by virtue of this mapping in the w plane, you need to find it out under this map. So in this lecture so far we have studied actually, I have given one example of conformal mapping, and since I have told that mapping actually maps different geometrical figure from z, two-dimensional geometrical figure from z plane to w plane. So by virtue of the example I have discussed how the function is mapping a particular two-dimensional geometrical figure from z plane into a particular geometrical figure in w plane. So after that I have given two examples for you to solve, where different mappings are given and one geometrical figure is given in the z plane, you need to find out its image in the w plane. So in the next lecture I will be discussing what is the bilinear transformation and different properties of the bilinear transformation. So till then, stay tuned and thank you all for watching this.